Good day everyone, welcome to today's video. Today it is the review on the P63 A-10. Now this is the second time I've actually had to record this because for some odd reason my microphone, even though it was working perfectly fine the other evening, decided not to work for the recording. Yet it worked for the other thing I recorded that day. Don't ask me why, that's just the way it is. But this was a very fun Spade, right up until the end, where it was sadly ruined by, well, let's just say German bias, Russian bias, and everything in between. Let's just say that. So, what was the plane like to fly? Well, very nice actually. It's got a good armament of 450 caliber machine guns and a 37mm cannon. However, the 37 is very inaccurate when stock, as with all P39 and P63 series of aircraft. And just overall, this is a pretty good fighter to fly. I mean, I haven't flown the Russian Kingcobras because I don't have them, but this was certainly one of the few that I've flown. Just turning down the volume because I honestly forgot to do it again. I've had a very long day today, folks. Very bad day, very tiring day, and I'm functioning on just over 6 hours of sleep with Dr. Pepper assistance, and it is not very nice. The Dr. Pepper was nice, but even so. So the P63 A-10 was one of the most common variants of the Kingcobra flown by the Russians. And their most common modification was the removal of the 250 caliber machine guns in the gun pods that you can see. Why they do this? I don't know. Personally, I'd keep the gun pods on, but apparently it was to reduce weight, increase the speed of the aircraft slightly, things like that. The plane itself can also carry three 500-pound bombs, very useful. Its high altitude performance is actually pretty good, so it's powered by, I believe, an Anderson engine. I'll check in a second. And just overall, it is a fantastic plane to fly. So let's go over the armor plating of this thing. Now, the main difference between the P63s in the game is this one has the exact same layout as the A5, but I'm showing you the C5, which I have yet to spade. I've only just started researching the compressor. The main difference between all the P63s is this one has armored doors, which is 6.35. But obviously we're not here to see the C5, we're here to see the A10. So you get a single 12.7mm plate protecting the oil cooling system, which is located right here. You get a single 12.7 plate protecting the pilot's head. You get 38mm of bulletproof glass, 19mm here, and 15.87 here, which I'm guessing protects the pilot's legs or something. So obviously the mainstay of the Kingcobras and the Aerocobras is the 37mm cannon located in the nose. In the A10, you get 58 rounds. In the C5, you get 58 rounds. In the A5, I believe you only get 30, which is the same as the Aerocobras. Now, the Aerocobras are good aircraft at 3.0 respectively. Obviously, the P400 is technically an Aerocobra, but it is not armed with a 37, it is armed with a 20mm Hispano. I would rather have this gun though, because this gun fires a lot slower. You get more time to actually use it, and in my opinion, it packs a bit more punch. And obviously, with the P63s, you have to get the gun pods and the 250 cals in the nose, which always come in handy. Now, the only problem I always used to have with the P63s and the P39s was actually landing them. I was always used to tail draggers, which, if you don't know what a tail dragger is for whatever reason, here is a perfect example with the F4U1D. It's where you've got a tail wheel at the back, and you've got two main landing gear supporting a plane like this. With the P63s, however, the nose wheel is right here, and the two main landing gear here. This is the main problem with the aircraft. For me personally, I've gotten used to it now, but even so, it's just something that you got to take into account. Overall though, there is one major weakness of the aircraft, and that's its fuel tanks, and technically the engine, if you consider that. Yes, it is a Lanson, I thought it was. But the fuel tanks are extremely susceptible to catching fire. If you're ever engaging a Kingcobra, go for the wings. This thing will light on fire like a torch, and it will never go out. I've not had a single fire go out in this aircraft. But anyway, let's jump into the replay because, well, this was a great replay. Let's just say that. Now, I was actually telling a friend of mine named Dana. She's interested in military history and things like that, like aviation in general. And I was telling her about this battle after I did it, and well, if you're here, Dana, you're gonna have a good time with this one. So this is my first and only ace in the P63, and I had to work my ass off for it. So to save time, since I did blabber a bit too much, knowing me, I'm just the kind of person to blabber on far too much. So I'm going to crank it up to 16 times speed, just to get us along a little, get us up to altitude, and things like that. Now the Kingcobra's got a climb rate, that's one thing to take into account. Stock, it's not too bad, but it could be better. Now up there a couple of seconds ago, if you was quick enough to see it, there are two Yak 3Ps up at altitude. You'll see them later. Now, I don't tend to fire the 37 against fighters, I tend to use the 50 cals. I forgot to mention what belts I'm using. I'm using Universal in the 12.7s, and there you can see them working there. And I'm using Default in the 37 since it's just purely HE. 600 meters gun convergence. And well, he felt the 37 that time, didn't he? First and second kill. Bit of a lag with the replay there, I do apologise. The P51 D30, which is just down to my left, has just killed the Yak 9P. However, at this point, he takes a 37 right to an engine block. But don't worry, I avenge him. Third kill. So at the moment, the team's actually pretty close in terms of overall stability and overall quantity of planes. We do have a single BTD, and he's going to come in handy later. So is Ranieri in the Spitfire Mark 9. Shout out to Toxic Snake 50. I'm just going to call you 50 because it's so much easier, buddy. And Ranieri, you two are legends. I would not have survived this battle without you guys. So whilst I'm coming through, pop this area gun with the 30 cal, 50 cal, sorry. Did try the 37. The 37 misses, as per usual. Stock 37mm on Aerocobras and Kingcobras are very inaccurate. Take that into account, people. And there you can see one of the Yak 3Ps and also the Yak 9K. He's also going to be playing a part in this battle. Now, I have faith in the Kingcobra's performance, but against a Yak 3P and a Yak 9K, that's pretty questionable. But it's not going to be just those two. The other Yak 3P is going to join the party very soon. Not for now, obviously. But you'll see him in a bit. So I'm going to skip ahead to when the dog... Well, put it on 2 times speed to when I turn. Now I turn. Fired 50 cals at the Yak 3. Then I take a head on with the Yak 9. And this critical hit right here on his fuel tank probably saved me about 4 times during this dogfight. Yak 3 gets a hit on my tail, I brake right and then back to, well, brake left, sorry, and brake right towards him. I'm now aggressively turning to get the Yak 9K off my tail. And there goes one of the Yak 3Ps. You can see that massive 45mm cannon on board that Yak 9K just waiting to get a shot on my Kingcobra. And it's about this moment I look up and I see a second Yak 3 and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, this is not good. So I've got the 9K behind me, I've got the 3P bearing down on me. And I'm at this point screaming for cover because I'm low on speed, well, pretty low on speed. I've got a 9K bearing on me, and I've obviously got the 3P. If I'd have gone vertical for that Yak 3, I'd have probably died right then, because the 9K is now on my ass. Ranieri is saying I'm 2 minutes out, and I'm like, I don't know if I can hold him for 2 minutes, but well, I'm obviously thinking that. I didn't type it because, well, I can't exactly type and fly in an aggressive situation. But I managed to turn this into a 2 versus 1, which I'm quite happy with. I quickly let the team know that the 9K is buggered, and it's only the 3P that's the priority target. Because I'm fast enough now to outrun the 9K due to the damage. And well, let's just say, yeah, Ranieri is going to come in and help. At this point, I make a witty comment in chat saying, "Red, check your 6." And it is exactly this moment he checks his 6. And that's when I aggressively roll the plane to turn it back. Obviously, the 9K, desperate to get a shot at me, he's going to try and fire his French launcher at me. He's going to miss due to his wing damage. Obviously, I'm using my limited speed, what I have, stored in the plane, to obviously pull away. And the second Yak 3 is being engaged by the Spitfire. That's a 37 hit. And there we go, pilot snipe. 5th and final kill for the match. And here comes the BTD pilot who has balls of steel, going head on with a Yak 9K. But he's going to get away with it, and he's going to get that kill. I wasn't too fussed that he got the kill, to be honest, even though I'd done most of the work. I thought the Yak 9K was going to ram me then. I believe he was, because he's now out of ammunition, according to the replay. The BTD cuts him in half, and I get my assist. Honestly, you two, I would not have survived this engagement without you. Let's just say my heart was racing after that. So now I'm going to skip ahead back to the airfield. Now Ranieri was running low on gas, so he followed me back to the airfield. And well, I'm going to show you the landing because it just, even though I've got a flat missing, this thing is more than capable of being landed. You've just got to take into account this thing's flaps do rip at a reasonable, well, they rip at about 108 miles an hour if you've got them in landing setting. But it's just getting the main carriage down after you put the nose wheel down is what I really struggle with for some reason. But anyway, not going to bore you with the waiting on the airfield. I'm going to skip ahead once again. And now you'll notice the difference. I have actually J'd out on the runway and put the 3 500-pound bombs on. I was pretty much almost spaded during this battle. I had 3 mods left to go, the cover, airframe and the fuselage repair. Now obviously the 2 wing bombs dropped separate, or individually, also at the same time I should say. I'm getting my English wrong today. 6 hours of sleep, people. But the central bomb does not. One bomb goes high, well, goes further than it should. One bomb lands right next to the enemy tank, blows it up, second ground kill. And here's the versatility of this plane, and this is why I like it. Next 500 pounder on its way. Burger delivered, first class, and job done. You won't get a better serving of 500-pound bombs if you order from Uber Eats now, would you? Because every time I order from Uber Eats, it's normally either cold or the driver's late. And yes, that was a dig at Uber Eats. If you don't know who they are, they're basically a taxi company who can now deliver food. It is awesome. So now we're going to skip to the final part. And well, we're going to finish the game right here with these ground targets. Now it would appear that the enemy pilot in the Peshka has obviously been watching a lot of Star Wars, but obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi, let's just say, he didn't have the balls to engage, and to be honest, I don't blame him. Engaging a Kingcobra with an ace, a Spitfire and a BTD who went head on with a Yak 9K, I honestly don't blame him. But as soon as I kill that vehicle, people, that last truck, we win. And there we go. And that's the end of the match. Sorry for this video being a bit longer than usual for the Spade review, but even so. I've got a few Spade reviews coming up. The P51 D5 with Borovi, he was a legend. You're going to see him on the channel at some point. And the F4U1C, which I finished in arcade. I'm going to see if people like the arcade aspect, see if some people might come to the channel for arcade content, and then I can split it in between, things like that. But I hope you enjoyed today's Spade impressions. This thing bites so aggressively when you know what to do with it. The 50 cals bite enough. The 37 bites like a venomous cobra. And well, if you fly this thing right, she surely is a proper Kingcobra. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you all on the next one.